What's going on, guys? Gabe the Great back here again with another video. And I just been noticing that the Primetime Peep video haven't been getting that much views, so we're gonna do something a little bit different today. All right, I want to talk with you guys for a second because I gotta get some stuff off my chest, and I got some hot takes here. They're not super hot takes. I mean, I'm not saying nothing probably nobody else has thought about, but let's talk for a second. Let's talk. Okay, before we talk, trigger warning for all you old heads. Anybody over 30, 33, 35, you're about to be triggered. All right? Just get out your feelings. Go to the comic section. You'll be fine. All right? All right, so check this out. Here's my take. The 2018 Golden State Warriors is the best team ever. Okay? I know I'm not saying anything you haven't heard before, and I know this isn't a super hot take, but here's what I will say about this. I don't think it's by a long shot. Like, I do believe in a 7-game series. This is my criteria. In a 7-game series, I think they would beat any team. Now, however, there are about 4 teams that I do believe would take them to 6 or 7 games. Every other team ever assembled, I think, maybe not. Actually, I can think of 5 teams. I just thought about another team off the top of my head. But now, I also want to preface this. We haven't seen them with DeMarcus Cousins yet. I don't know what they're going to look like with DeMarcus Cousins. But at this point, I don't see how any other team could beat the team. Okay? Now, let me get straight to it, because here's what a lot of you old folks are saying. All you old heads are saying. Right? About how soft this NBA is and how there's no defense. Bro, I get it. And I actually agree with you. Somebody needs to call Mike Wang. Mike Wang needs to turn the sliders up on the actual NBA, because this is getting ridiculous. Teams are dropping 140 points and they sleep. This is messed up. Somebody at Mike Wang, tell him to turn the sliders up. I don't know what's going on with the actual NBA, which is ironic, because Hall of Fame on NBA 2K19 is like unbelievable defense. But, in the actual NBA, everybody can drop 30. All right. So I do hear you on that. The errors previously were tougher. Here's my rebuttal to that. Toughness is a skill that is not hard to build. It's really not. Like, toughness is not a difficult thing to get, right? It just takes a few hard practices. That's it. It takes practices being a little bit harder, calling a little bit less fouls in practice, and you build some toughness in your team, right? You can build the mental toughness, kind of push them a little bit more with running and stuff like that, and boom, you have a tougher team. So toughness, when people talk about, how tough the past was, whatever. Like, toughness is not a hard thing to build. It's not unique. You know what is unique? A 7-foot shooting guard. That's unique. You know what is unique? Having the 2 best shooters of all time on your team. You know what is unique? Having 3 people on your team that can score 50 plus points in 30 minutes. That's unique. And your 4th best player can get a triple-double without scoring points. That's unique. I'm just saying, that's unique. Now, let's jump into it. Again, I don't think this is a runaway. I do think there are like 4 or 5 teams that would give them a run for their money. Okay, obviously you got to say the 96 Bulls, right? The 72-10 Bulls. But here's my take on them, okay? Unless MJ's going to drop 50 points a game, I don't think they're going to beat him. Now, here's the thing. MJ could legit drop 50 points a game in a 7-game series. That's how bad MJ was. Right? MJ could legit drop 50 points a game. But after that, then what? Is Pippen going to give you 30 a night? No, Pippen's not going to give you 30 a night. I don't care what era we're playing. This era, 90s era, Pippen's not giving you 30 points per game. He's not doing it. Okay? And Klay, Steph, and KD can all combine to go for 80 to 90 plus. on any given night. Easy. And I don't think they're going to be able to hold the Golden State Warriors to under 100 points. I don't think you can hold this team consistently in a 7-game series to under 100 points. I don't think it's going to happen. Especially if they get back to Marcus Cousins, depending on where he's at. Okay? So the 96 Bulls are a team. I'm just talking about teams that I think would take this team to 6 or 7 games. I think the 96 Bulls is one. Okay? Another team that I think will take them to 6 or 7 games will be I believe it's the 86 Celtics. The 86 Celtics. They had like 5 Hall of Famers on their team. Larry Bird, Bill Walton, Parrish, McHale. Like, that was a tough team. That team was legit. And they have something that the Warriors had. That team had been together, aside from Bill Walton, for pretty much a super long time. And what kills... Here's the thing about the Warriors, okay? Because people like to talk about hand checking and toughness and all that. I get it. But if you watch Warriors games, then you understand there's not a lot of one-on-one action. The only player who really goes one-on-one is KD. And that's just at the end of the shot clock or at the end of the game if the score is tied close. Then you just give it to KD and, he goes one-on-one. Everything else is fluid. It's motion offense. And if you watch games in the 80s and in the 90s, okay? In the 80s and 70s, 60s, the pace was faster, right? It was a lot of up and down, Towards the back half of the 80s and the 90s, it became much more of a half-court game, right? And so you have people, dribbling the ball, kind of setting 1-2 screens, dump it down, or try to get a person off a flare screen or something like that. So the pace was a lot slower. I think just the Warriors style with their motion offense and constantly, if you're trying to chase Steph Curry around 20,000 screens a game, you want to talk about toughness, you got to be tough for that, right? Eventually that's going to wear you down. Eventually, coming off 20,000 screens off of both Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and Kevin Durant, eventually you're going to get worn out, right? Eventually you're going to get worn out. So I do think the 86 Celtics could give them some problems because there are many, many different ways. I don't think anybody on their team could stop Larry Bird. If you put Draymond on him, he's getting buckets. I think KD could be your best bet, but again, I don't think anyone's going to stop Larry Bird. And I do think they have other comparable pieces. Bill Walton was an MVP before he got to the Celtics. They had 5 Hall of Famers on that team. Like, legit Hall of Famers. Like, guys, not like in the 60s when, like, if you were, like, the water boy for the Celtics, you were in the Hall of Fame. But they had, like, 5, like, legit Hall of Famers. So, I think they would be tough. Maybe the Showtime Lakers. But I really don't think the Showtime Lakers would be all that good against them. I kind of think if you want to run against the Warriors, I think that's a bad idea. Okay. Another team that I think would take them to 6 or 7 games is I would say the 0-2 Lakers. The 0-2 Lakers will give the Warriors some problems. And the reason being is because with the 0-2 Lakers, you legit have 2 players who can average 30 plus points a game. And Shaq is also going to give you, 12 to 15 rebounds a game. And there's nothing you can do to stop him except foul him. And hack a Shaq doesn't work, by the way. You can do it if you want. It doesn't work. It just takes you out of your rhythm, right? You can send him and put your bigs in foul trouble. But there's nothing you can do to stop Shaq. He's not stoppable. He's too dominant. So they can't stop Shaq. Kobe is a monster. Kobe's going to go straight at KD's neck. Kobe has no problem guarding KD. And the thing about great scorers is the key with them is if they're going to get their 30 points, just make it the most difficult 30 that they've ever gotten in their life. And that's what Kobe Bryant's going to do on Kevin Durant over a course of 7 games. If he's going to drop 30 on Kobe, it's going to be the toughest 30 that he's ever gotten in his life. So I like a Kobe versus KD matchup. 0-2 Kobe. I like that matchup. I feel good about that. But at the end of the day, again, who's got Klay? Who's got Klay coming off screens? If Klay gets hot, Klay is the hottest shooter ever. When Klay gets hot, it's game over. it's game over. There's nothing you can do. You can play KD perfectly. You can play Steph perfectly. If Klay gets hot, game over. You're done for. There's nothing you can do. Okay? But I do think they would give them a run for their money. Okay? I kind of like the bad boy Pistons. I kind of like the 90s Pistons. I like them. I don't know if they could go 6 or 7 games. I'm going to say 5 games with them. I'm going to say it'd be 5 games. It'd be tough. Like, they will punish you. The reason why I like the bad boys Pistons is because I think they could easily bait Draymond Green, Boogie Cousins, and Kevin Durant. I think these guys, I think, Boogie and Dre, I think Boogie is actually tough. Dre is kind of tough. I think, KD plays tough on TV. But I think the bad boy Pistons would just kind of bait these guys. And they would just get ejected. And if they lose Boogie Cousins, Draymond Green, and KD, now you just got to deal with the Splash Brothers. That would have to be the strategy. I'm just thinking about it. Because that's their game. If you want to get into a little ticky-tack game with the bad boy Pistons, you're going to lose that game. Isaiah Thomas is going to play Steph Curry tough. I don't know. I like the bad boy Pistons. I like them. I do think the Warriors come out on top in 6 games. But I like the bad boy Pistons. My last team that I really like against this team is the 2014 San Antonio Spurs. I like the 2014 San Antonio Spurs against this team. Okay, so let's just think about this for a second. The 17 Spurs that they didn't have KD, or sorry, they didn't have Tim Duncan, right? They had a poor man's Tim Duncan and LaMarcus Aldridge, the great value Tim Duncan. And then they were up by 25. I mean, Kawhi was putting clamps on KD. And then Zaza happened, But I like the 2014 Spurs. Here's the thing about Kawhi Leonard. I go back and forth between Kawhi Leonard and KD because here's what I like about Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard beat LeBron in his prime and got Finals MVP guarding a prime LeBron James. 2014 LeBron James. KD beat LeBron after he joined a 73-win team. All right. And the teams just weren't evenly matched. The 14 Spurs, the 14 Heat were pretty evenly matched. And Kawhi Leonard outdid LeBron James in that. Right? That's all I'm saying. And so I like the 2014 Spurs because one thing about both the Spurs and the Golden State Warriors is how well they play basketball. Like watching these two teams play basketball is like watching basketball porn. Like it's amazing. These two teams, the Spurs, a Greg Popovich Spurs and a Steve Kerr Warriors, their motion, their fluidity, their unselfishness, that will go to 7 games. That will go to 7 games. Absolutely. Because I do think Kawhi could check KD. I really do. If there's anyone who could stop KD, I think it would be Kawhi Leonard. But again, all this is we don't know what they're going to look like with Boogie Cousins. So you throw Boogie Cousins in the mix, and I don't know anymore, okay? But that's why I say the 2018 Golden State Warriors are the best team ever. I know it's not a super hot take, but let me know what you think down in the comments section below. Hey, leave a like if you like it. Let me know if you want to do more videos like this where we just kind of rap talk. I give hot takes. I got 1,000 hot takes in my head. But let me know what you think. Like it if you like it. Subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you next time. Peace.